you, Oliver, I guess, because, you know, you said you know how you came, but then what was easy and challenging for you? How did you feel like in that first 12 weeks?
Yeah, as much as I want to say that I'm somebody that can sit on the couch and put my feet up, I have realized that I need to belong to something, whether it's a job or whether it's a family, or I need to be a part of something and working to make something creatively. And so, you know, I didn't expect to come here and help build this village, but I soon found that my inability to let go of control took over, and I became part of the group here that's making this village work. And it's been fun, I would say, for the most part. When I walk around, when I wake up every morning, I get a cup of coffee and I walk around the village and see what got done the previous day. And it is really, it's been enjoyable to be a part of that. Don't get me wrong, it's come with a lot of stress that I did not expect. But again, my fault for trying to control too much. So I think that I need to be a part of something. I think that this village, until it gets done, and then probably it'll be an ongoing process here. So as long as I'm in this village, there will be something for me to do. I've met some, you know, like Aaron, I've met some really, really great people really, really quickly. And I think it is just because we have come here during a difficult time to put give our kids and ourselves an experience that we have not been able to find where we're from.
Yeah. And are there days for both of you when you're just like, no more? I can't
Too
do
much,
it.
yeah.
I can't do it. I need.
And I would say that
I need them all.
I would say that
I have days.
Sunday I was sent
something.
out with a list of things, and it took me most of the day to get a few of those things. And then Monday came around and I was like, I'm not getting on a scooter. I'm not getting in a car. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna walk around the village. And I have that freedom. And so that's what I did. So yeah, there are days when, you know, somebody told me there's a word called being Bali'd. Okay. And being Bali'd literally means things just are not going to go the way that you expected them to.
Yeah.
So lots of
and
being
it's that
Bali'd.
acceptance of that, just to go,
Yeah.
okay, I'm releasing myself to you, Bali.
I have learned to relinquish so much control. I showed up here and looked at Oliver and said, I am the most uptight person on this entire island. And everybody around me at home, I was kind of in the middle. I didn't feel uptight. I was right there in the middle. And here I was not. And I think you really learn to just bring it down. Not everything's going to go your way, and that's okay. You just learn to really to live and to be accepting.
And really at the end of the day, you know, Hattie came into our room this morning and she just had the biggest smile on. She was ready for school. She was excited for the day. She has an acting class this evening. The kids love Bali. They love the green school. They love the people they've met. And you know, that brings life up a notch when you don't struggle with the kids' unhappiness. You know, you can let a little bit of your stress and unhappiness go because you know that they are happy.
Okay.
So,
and on those days where you throw up your hands and say, I'm done, inevitably the next day you wake up and say, I can never leave this place.
it is a roller coaster ride. And
a roller coaster.
you know, you got to be prepared for that. But I knew pretty quickly that Bali wasn't going to spit us out. Like I think that my family is pretty flexible and resilient, and I've seen it over and over again, and I push it to the limits sometimes, and it's always been challenging for us because I don't just exist and let life, you know, choose the course it's going to take. You know, I put us into these situations. I'll take full blame or also
Credit
for these things
and
that we do.
And if you use it, we blame.
But I see so much growth in my wife, my children,
so
hopefully me.
Yeah, so both right now, you're like, best decision, best movie then.
Yes.
And is this a long-term move for you? Because a lot of people, of course, come to the Green School and they come for 6 months or a year, and that's their set time. But I mean, I know you bought 2 houses.
Yeah, buying a house for me is not a commitment. And it's probably...
You look at it differently from
I look at
a lot
completely
of
different than most people do. Long term, I'll be here today, and I'll probably be here tomorrow since I don't have a flight out. But I think that is really important for us not to get too carried away with that question.
So you're really flexible.
We're living in the moment.
Yeah.
And we've never done that before so much, but it feels right to just
we
live
did
in the
sign the
moment
kids up for school next fall.
Mm-hmm.
You do things on a semester basis, I guess, here because things are so transient. So we believe we'll be here until the end of 2021. Do I want to go back to America in its current state? No. But do I know its current state either?
No,
I don't know
and
what's
then I
going on
guess
there.
though, because I feel like when I was searching, my question to you, and I hope you don't mind asking this, like, how do you make this work? Because I feel like a lot of people watching go, I want to do that, but I'm not a millionaire, I'm not a billionaire, I can't just pack up and, move my life across and, and live here. So how financially do you live here? And is that what one day could make you leave because you're like, financially we just can't do it anymore? Or had you planned for years to come, which is more what I did. I planned and went, okay, so I've got a few years up my sleeve and then I need to sort something out. So how do you make it work?
I would say my mother-in-law said something to me a long time ago.
I thought you were going to say, my mother-in-law's paying.
No, she said all these young families, when you're young is the time that you should have money. Because then you can spend time at home with your kids and you can have adventures and you can live a life that you want to live. But we do it the opposite. We work our whole lives and forget that we even have children and spouses. And then we turn 65 and then we actually go out into the world and experience what we wanted to do all along. And I think about that all the time. And I've thought about that for a long time. And no, we're not millionaires. We're probably pretty average, sure, but we've done well. Erin's very frugal, and she's taught me her frugal ways. If I didn't have her, I would have spent all the money I made. But we've saved and we've invested a lot, and I always loved the idea of retiring young. And I'm not quite 40, but I could figure out how to retire. It's not easy. You really have to think about how much you're spending in your lifestyle, and but I would also say Bali has thrown us a bit of a challenge. It's not as inexpensive as we originally thought, and I think that's also that goes back to the my fault.
Yeah, and I feel like you can do Bali really cheap.
You can do Bali really cheap.
And you can do Bali so expensive.
We know people that live in very nice homes for, under $1,000 US a month. We know people that spend $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
So you can do Bali on all sorts of levels. We have things that are important to us. Our home is important to us. Food is important to us.
And I think one really important thing is housing to buy. Like you see, they're beautiful housing for everything. Oh, that's a $2 million house. Housing here is so much cheaper. So to purchase a property in Bali, you can never purchase the land in Bali. So please, if you ever get told that, unless you're Indonesian, it's not possible. So you purchase the house and then you have a lease. So you might have a 25-year lease that you've paid for. So, but housing here is so cheap, so much cheaper. I think, you know, when you compare to the United States or especially New Zealand, like I could never get a house off this price in ever in New Zealand, unless I lived really rural.
Yeah. But then in your other video with us, we did explain to you that these houses are going back to nature. So even though you're not spending as much as you would in, you know, these Western countries that a lot of us are from, you know, they are still fairly expensive. But the return on your investment is actually really, really good in Bali.
Yeah.
So it's probably at least double, if not triple, what you could get where we're from in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah,
so,
but you, I mean, on saying that though, you could not buy a house in Portland, Oregon for this price?
No, absolutely
No.
not. No.
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 Nowhere near this price.
Yeah, so it's still really cheap when you're talking, when people come and you think you have to pay so much for a house. Yeah. If you look at it as an investment opportunity, which you have had, and when the doors open up in the world more,
yeah, and that's the way I've always, you know, that's the way I've always made money, is investing in property. So, and it's always worked for me. And, you know, some may say, well, it's different here in Bali, but no, it's the same. You're investing in a piece of property, you're renting it out, you're getting a return. You also have to live. So let's say you live in, you know, it's pretty simple. If you decide to live in Bali for a year or 2 or 3, and you're shelling out anywhere from $1,000 to, let's say the average is $2,000 a month. Right now during COVID, you're spending $24,000 a year. Multiply that by how long you're here, and if you can buy a house and sell it even for the same amount, you've got your living for free.
For free, yeah. So really, I guess, when people go, okay, so really you've saved the money, you've come here, you've got savings to get you through your time. Do you both think do you think you'll work during your time in Bali, or do you think you'll do that, or you're just really gonna live
I don't
life?
think that I'll get a traditional job in Bali. I think that with the Green School, you know, the Green School provides opportunities to meet a lot of people with all sorts of different interests. And my thought has always been, you know, I'm not expecting it, but I think that I'll learn a lot about myself through this process and other opportunities that are out there in the world. And, you know, maybe one will click with me.
Yeah.
So do I think that the job will be in Bali? No. I think it'll be doing something else somewhere else. Not that it will take us away from Bali, but, you know, the world and people's jobs are so, you know, virtual these days that, and it might just be these investments. You know, it might just be managing investments of some sort.
You can make your own privilege.
Yeah, no. No thanks.
Really?
No.
And I have been searching for my purpose and what I really want to be doing in life, and I think I'm getting close to figuring that out, and I think that this is a really good...
Because your background is a nurse.
My background is as a nurse.
But you don't want to do that anymore.
But I don't want to do that anymore, and I've been... the opportunities here in the realm of health and healing are so much more than I had access to at home, and that is what I'm really passionate about. And so I'm just trusting that I'm going to be led in the direction that I need to go, and hopefully that will support us in some way financially. But I know that I want to be living my purpose, and that I'm getting closer to that.
Okay. And you really did not feel that closeness until you came to that?
I've been searching, but I felt pretty lost.
Yeah. And I guess the fun question is, what do you guys love about being here? Like, outside of, you know, what we've talked about, what do you love? What do you hate?
I think the simplest answer for me is, you know, being able to live. You know, for the last year, and even through video chats with relatives, nobody's doing this.
Yeah.
You don't have a mask on. I don't have a mask on.
We're kind of in each other's bubble. with very good
Well,
friends.
yeah. Feeling comfortable just being around people, and we all have our ideas about health and the virus, and we don't need to get into those, but I feel comfortable being around people here.
Yeah.
And I didn't at home, or maybe reverse, people didn't feel comfortable being around me.
Yeah.
And it's really, really nice to just get back to normal. And I do feel that in Bali. Besides sending our kids to school with masks, I do feel like we can live.
Everything here is outdoors, and so we're not in an enclosed space with people, and so there's airflow, and all the restaurants are open, and I mean, you are outside all of the time, and I think that just being that immersed in nature is so healing and so helpful to being able to live normally, and that's one of the things that I love, is just being able to be outside all the time. I love the opportunities that Bali has as far as yoga and health and energy healing. I have access to things here that I've never dreamed of having access to.
Well, and I think in Bali as a whole, it's just things are affordable, right? Do you know, we can have a massage and someone come into your house and it's maybe $10 or do you know, something like that, and things are more affordable, things that definitely I wouldn't have been able to afford to do in New Zealand, or I would have done once a year as a treat. You can kind of do here on a weekly basis, right?
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
So you can take care of yourself for those times that are really stressful. Otherwise, you can then decompress and go to a yoga class that costs less than $7, and I mean, you just can't do that at home.
It's an open box. It really, if you have an idea, Bali's kind of like the Wild West. You can try out your idea here. This village is nothing more than just an idea. There's 13 homes. There's a incredibly complicated water system. This would cost $5 to $10 million US if done in the United States, and it's done on a fraction of that here, and it's always changing. There's no permitting or waiting for somebody else to approve something. You can have these wild ideas, you can implement them, and you can get them done so much more effectively. And it's not that you're trying to do something inadequately. There's so many stopgaps where we're from. There's so many people telling us no. And here, it's only yes. Why not? It's beautiful. I mean,
You're able to.
that's what we want for our kids. We don't. I mean, there's no such thing as somebody telling you that you can't do something. When in reality, you can. You can do anything.
Yeah. And then, what do you miss? What are you missing? I feel like there's something, like the other day I was thinking, I miss this one little supermarket. If I was in America, I'd be in Whole Foods because I love Whole Foods.
It is the small things.
What are you missing? Like, what do you actually go, I genuinely miss that. It makes you a little homesick.
Conditioner for your hair.
Yeah, toothpaste. For me, toothpaste.
So it is the small things, but I've been really surprised. None of us are homesick.
No, and when I think about
but just those things that not necessarily make you homesick like that, but just make you go, I do love that. I would love to go there just for a day.
I miss my well-equipped kitchen, where it was easy to cook and I knew how to do it all and I had all the right things and my fancy blender, and I do miss that.
Yes.
The knowledge of how to do things.
Yeah, and that will come with time, right?
Yeah.
How to get
Certainly.
groceries, how to use things differently here. Yeah, and we continually talk about how difficult things like cooking and getting groceries are. But Bali also is so easy in the aspect that you can get anything delivered. by just about anybody right now. You can
Yeah.
meet somebody on the
On a
side of the
scooter.
road on a scooter, and you can say, would you mind going here to get me this? And literally, they will.
Yeah.
They are I mean, of course they're, you know, struggling right now because of the situation. But they seem like they want to help you all the time. The
Yeah.
Balinese people are really, really giving of themselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't miss much.
You don't miss out.
Yeah.
You're so not going home to America. Don't expect him home anytime soon. Mom, Dad, he ain't coming home. So as a finish, is there anything else? Like, you know, I'm sitting in Spain, I'm sitting in France, I'm like, I want to go to Bali, I want to do this. What would be your one thing you'd say to someone outside of just do it? Because we're all going to say that. What would be your one thing that you'd say, okay, do this, but or do you know what? It's amazing, just have an open mind.
Yeah, I think trying to work through that fear that keeps us all from doing the things that we really want to do, and taking the plunge and trusting that everything's going to be okay. It might not be the way that you wanted it to look or turn out, but that there's no harm in taking the plunge and taking the opportunity. You can always turn right back around and go back to what's comfortable if it doesn't work.
And that's important to also, you know, bring awareness to. This isn't for everybody. Not everybody wants to uproot their families and change their lives. Some people are completely content with the way they live, and that's beautiful. I just wasn't. And I wanted more. I wanted something different. Not necessarily more, but just something different. And I would say that if you are unhappy, you know, only you have the capability to make that change. And don't wait. You know, we can all say, when our kids are in high school, or when our kids are gone out of the house. And I always thought that. I thought that travel, which is really important to both of us, was meant for pre-kids and post-kids. And what I realized is it's an opportunity to give our kids something really special. And they may move back to Portland, Oregon and never leave and never travel. And that's okay too. But at least it's an opportunity for them to learn and grow and experience something different.
And I think that there's never a good or an easy time to do something like this.
No, it's like having kids. People say there's a perfect time.
No
good time.
I met a really nice Japanese family yesterday that came through the village, and they had this little tiny 3-year-old, I think she was. And to me, that would have been, I couldn't have done it. Amazing, good for them for doing it. So there is no right time, and
there's no easy time. There's no right time, and the changes that I've seen in all of us, and it's all so worth all the difficult times.
Yeah. Okay, so great to chat with you guys. I hope you guys got so much from this, because these are amazing people, and I hope you heard their messages, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Such a cool story, I think, of how you came here and how you were so like, we gotta go, and you were like, I want to stay in Portland, Oregon.
It's so comfortable here.
It's so happy, it's so comfortable. And then you make this big change, and to see how, as time's gone on, and see how happy you are and how happy the kids are, and I'm so happy you're in your beautiful home, and it's just awesome. So thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for sharing. Thanks guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Great people. Come and meet them. Come to Bali. Come and not talk over, it's over though. Then come to Bali. We want you. Bye guys. Thank you.